What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here, and today let's talk about an SMG which, for one, I think has tons of potential in the future of Modern Warfare 3, as well as in the integration of Warzone itself, but also just a very fun, reliable SMG right now that you guys can mess around and use with, have a comfortable time ranking up. If you guys are doing the mastery camo challenges, this should definitely be on the easier side of things. There's a lot of good stuff with this weapon, and to start off our little review of the weapon itself, honestly, if I was to compare it to a weapon we have seen in past Call of Duties, even though this is the Striker 9, a 9mm version of the Striker which shoots a .45, this is very much a clone of the Lockman sub, or better known as the MP5. Mobility, reload, recoil control, all this stuff are traits that this weapon has that the Lockman sub has when it comes to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, and this leaves tons of potential for an alternative when this weapon does probably see a buff in the future, but also a very user-friendly weapon to use that will make it a dominant force if it gets a little bit more buffs ahead of itself. Now, in the multiplayer now, very low recoil, so it allows you to land your shots if you guys are good and accurate, especially using the attachments we are using in this build. But with that being said, I think this is a good time to segue into the game and showcase the loadout we are using, along with the gear setup we are using to pair with this weapon. So here we are in the game. This is the setup we are going. So for our muzzle, we are using the Shadow Strike suppressor. This gives us the ability to be undetectable in radar, and in multiplayer, red dots on the minimap are a thing if you shoot your gun. So this is a nice subtle attachment that has no cons to it. Now for the barrel, we're going for the Striker Recon long barrel. The main reason we're doing this is to extend our damage ranges as well as bullet velocity. Now the main kicker here, the main knock to it, is the hipfire spread and the tactical stance spread. These are seeing increases to those statistics, so that's not really good if you really care about hipfire, but here we're not really doing any of that, and anyway, it's not really noticeable, so I don't care too much. We also are using my favorite underbarrel right now, the X10 Phantom 5 hand stop. This has great buffs with very little cons, and specifically the main con here is the tactical stance spread. I don't really like to use tactical stance at all. Sometimes it happens that you use it when you slide. The ADS time buffs, the sprint to fire speed buffs, these are great buffs, and I'll take the knock on hipfire and tactical stance for this grip because it is really damn good. We're also rocking the 40 round magazine. Now if you guys can run the 50, you get 10 more bullets. It's perfectly fine. It's kind of why I make the comparison with the Lockman, is that in Warzone I can see myself using the 50 round, but for multiplayer 40 is perfectly fine, and some of the knocks to reload quickness is the biggest, and sprint to fire and ADS time don't really see that much nerfs, and even then when you go to 50, still not that much nerfs, but altogether really solid magazine. Now for the rear grip, we're also using the tac mag. Here we get better sprint to fire speed. There are cons to recoil control and gun kick control, but nothing substantial in my opinion. This is again a very subtle recoil gun, so a lot of vertical, very easy to control, so some of the knocks here to recoil aren't really a thing. So yeah, but overall this is what I am using when it comes to the best setup for me personally. Now when it comes to our loadouts or our setup, the engineer vest for SMGs in my opinion are pretty damn great. You get 2 tacticals and you get extra gear slots. So here we're using the quick grip gloves, we're using lightweight boots, mag holster to increase our reload speed. I love this. I love sleight of hand being back in the game. And then we're using ghost just to be off the minimap. Now you can use bone conduction. This is a great thing to kind of sound whore people, but in general this is what I'm using. This is my setup, and feel free to customize yourself. Mag holster and ghost are kind of a personal preference of mine. Same with lightweight boots. I know there is the covert sneakers. I don't really care too much about these, to be honest, but yeah. Now jumping out to give my closing thoughts. Again, reminder, this isn't going to be the best, greatest SMG ever right now. There's tons of potential. There's tons of user friendliness to this weapon that allows you to be very successful even in its current standing in the meta. SMGs collectively will be seeing tunings to probably make them a little bit better. We'll see what the middle ground is here, because we saw a SMG dominate the first week of the beta in Modern Warfare 3's beta. When it came to the PlayStation version, the Striker was insane at ranges, and obviously they took note of that and reduced the damage or any range fall off and stuff like that. So let's see how things play out for SMGs in an upcoming tuning patch and in the future too, but there's a lot of potential here for the Striker 9 in multiplayer and in Warzone when the integration occurs. But in multiplayer, reminder, highly mobile. You will have to rely on landing a lot of your shots to win out, because the Rival 9 or other assault rifles have the time to kill edge on you. So just keep that in mind, especially with a higher time to kill. Some of those factors do matter. But altogether, check this weapon out. Enjoy, use it. It's actually pretty fun. I'm actually finding a lot of weapons so far to be very viable in certain cases. Not absolutely meta, but viable enough for me to switch things up and kind of mess around with things. It's actually really refreshing because when I heard of the time to kill getting increased, I was really worrisome of weapons kind of being stagnated to only being able to use absolute meta weapons. Now, based on skill-based matchmaking and how that is going for you, that will definitely sway things, but altogether this weapon should be fun in all categories, especially in the right hand. So if you guys enjoyed this video and found this video informative, definitely drop this video a like. If you guys have any comments on the Striker 9, your own setup you've been using, or any thoughts on it in the meta standing, definitely leave a comment down below. We can have a conversation about it. But besides that, if you guys are new here and want more content like this from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified for when I do drop more content. There's tons of Modern Warfare 3 videos to be made, especially tier rankings and stuff like that with different weapon classes as I rank up all the weapons, do my mastery camos. There's still a lot to do, and heads up, double weapon XP and double XP and battle pass XP this week between November 22nd and November 27th. So definitely be on the lookout for that because that is really exciting for me when it comes to leveling up my weapons. So yeah, hopefully I get it done this weekend and then we have everything set ready to go for Warzone. Use that time appropriately, but also spend time with your family and people during the holiday season. So yeah, but besides that, that's pretty much all I got for this one. Hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.